Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good day. My name is Diana Anasuha binti Azlan and I am a final year student in University Technical Malaysia Melaka. For my final year project, the title given is Effects of Partial Remelting on Microstructure and Mechanical Properties of Taxoform Magnesium Alloys. As for my introduction, this study is conducted to develop a new processing parameters to enhance the properties of magnesium alloy feedstock via modification of the cooling rate for semi-solid metal processing. The study is going to use AZ91 and AM50 magnesium alloys. This experiment will be conducted by using semi-solid metal processing SSM method in order to exploit attributes of unique properties for metallic microstructure. To be precise, the method to be used is cooling slope casting process before taxoforming in preparing the feedstock. As a result, several testing sets such as optical microscopy, scanning electron microscopy, energy dispersive X-ray spectroscopy, electron backscatter diffraction EBSD, and X-ray diffraction analysis, as well as hardness and tensile tests will be conducted to explain the microstructure of the magnesium alloys. In the experiment, it is important to get globular or non-dendritic microstructure of magnesium alloys. The problem statement for the project is there are some limitations when using magnesium alloys in semi-solid metal processing. This is due to the high sensitivity of temperature, which impacts the formation of the nucleation and growth of the alloy and reduces the bonding between grain structure during solidification, which decreases formability efficiency during the secondary forming process. And cooling slope processing technique is required to overcome the limitation of producing the feedstock. The objectives of these projects are to produce magnesium alloys feedstock for taxoforming using cooling slope casting. The second one, to investigate the microstructural evolution of magnesium alloys after partial remelting. And the last one, to determine the mechanical properties of taxoformed magnesium alloys. As for my literature review on magnesium alloy, as the lightest metal structural material, magnesium alloys have a wide application prospect in the areas of automobile, aerospace, and portable electronic devices, and many more because of their high specific strength, high specific stiffness, excellent damping characteristics, good castability, and recyclability, cited by Zhang et al. 2005. Below are the composition of AM50 and AZ91 magnesium alloys cited by Ho et al. In 2019. And we are moving on to the semi-solid metal processing. The key element in the SSMP is the globular microstructure rather than dendritic microstructure, and it is the taxotropic behavior of the semi-solid slurry which reduces the segregation and porosity in the castings. Compared with the conventional techniques, SSMP provides several advantages like higher product quality, lower forming temperature, higher production rate, and improvement of the mechanical properties through microstructural refinement. Taxoforming is one of the member of SSMP routes based on the taxotropic behavior of alloys with non-dendritic microstructure in the semi-solid state other than rheocasting route. Moreover, taxoforming and related SSMT methods require taxotropic feedstock materials as starting material. The figure shows a schematic illustration of rheocasting process and taxoforming process, cited by Mandel et al. 2014. Next, mechanism for formation of non-dendritic microstructure. Several mechanisms have been proposed to explain the presence of non-dendritic morphology, which involves the formation of fine, near-spheroidal particles through forced convection caused by stirring as stated by Flemings 1991, Kirkwood 1994, and Fan 2002. One mechanism which distinguishes semi-solid metal slurries from other suspensions is that the particle shape and size vary irreversibly with time. The mechanisms for dendritic fragmentation, which may be divided into major groups, as shown in the figure above, Wang et al. 2011. So, it is important to get the sphere microstructure rather than the dendritic microstructure to avoid porosity and lower and weak mechanical properties. Next, I want to explain about cooling slope casting. Cooling slope casting is a simple process which involves pouring molten metal with a suitable superheat through a cooling slope plate and subsequent solidification in a mold. It is a recently developed method to produce raw material for further textile-forming processes, cited by Haga and Suzuki 2001. The cooling slope casting process is composed of the following main process sections as shown in the figure cited by Liu et al. 2003. First of all, a melting pouring section which consists of a crucible which melts the alloy and pours down it through a cooling slope plate. And then this is where the nucleation section which generates the crystal nuclei in the melt as it is flowing through the cooling slope plate. And then a crystal generating section which metal obtained from the nucleation section is cooled down in the metal mold. Dendritic morphology upon pouring temperature. So Motegi et al. 2004 concluded that finally the best pouring temperature was 656 degrees Celsius, and they found evidence that increase in pouring temperature resulted in a bigger particle size. Wang et al. 2011 also stated the best pouring temperature is 650 degrees Celsius. And Sakla-Goglu et al. 2011 in the experiment reported that pouring the metal via cooling slope with a low superheat 650 degrees Celsius resulted in globular structures, whereas for the medium superheat, the particle morphology was a mixture of globular and rosette-like, and at high superheat, a mixture of rosette-like and coarse dendritic structure. The figure shows various temperature on microstructure with 630 degrees Celsius, 640 degrees Celsius, and 650 degrees Celsius cited by Mandat et al. 2014. Moving on to the dendritic morphology upon slope angle. Non-dendritic structure can be achieved when the slope degree is 60 degrees, stated by Wang and friends. Wang et al. 2011 from Motegi et al. 2002 stated the best condition were tilt angle of 60 degree. Also, Tagavi et al. 2009 investigated the effects of various angles from 30 degree, 40 degree, and 50 degree and 60 degree of inclined plate on A356 alloy. They found that applying inclined plate at 30 degrees cannot eliminate the dendritic morphology of alloy phase in microstructures, while angle of 40 and 50 led to the elimination of dendrite microstructures, and globular microstructures are replaced for all lengths. For dendritic morphology upon slope lengths, Motegi et al. 2002 stated that the best length of inclined plate or slope is 200 mm. If the length of the cooling slope is too long, the molten alloy flowing onto it forms a solid shell. On the other hand, short distance generates small amount of crystal seeds because there is less position available for seed to be generated. The length of the cooling slope directly affects the cooling shearing time on melt, which affects the microstructure of semi-solid melt. Haga and Suzuki from 2001 also reported that a slope length of 300 mm yields globular primary crystal as compared to 100 mm slope length. As for the methodology for this project, the design experiment that will be conducted, the pouring temperature in degrees Celsius, the slope angle, and also the slope length in millimeter. So these are the four parameters, which are 670, 650, 640, and 630 of pouring temperature, whereas the 30, 40, 50, 60 degrees of slope angle and slope length of 400, 300, 200, and 100 of slope length. So for the flow chart, first of all, the Z91 and M50 ingots will be cut into small pieces and run for the chemical analysis and the DSC calorimetry, and then the metals will be melted then the pour into the crucible, and then the cooling slope casting process will be held, and after that reheating the molten metal, and then last but not least will be following by texoforming process, and then T6 heat treatment, and of course we will be testing for several tests, which are optical tests, X-ray diffraction tests, electron backscatter diffraction tests, the energy dispersive X-ray spectroscopy test, as well as the tensile test and the hardness test. So these are the testing procedures. First of all, optical microscope and SEM EDX machine, and then the XRD for microstructure, and then testing procedures of EBSD, electron backscatter diffraction, and then energy dispersive X-ray spectroscopy EDX, and last but not least, the tensile test and hardness test after the T6 heat treatment. And moving on to the problem related in this project, resulting in the diadratic microstructure leads to weak mechanical strength of magnesium alloys. And so we have to achieve the globular and spheroidal structure for both Z91 and AM50 magnesium alloys with considered temperature. Because as we know, the magnesium alloys are very sensitive towards the temperature, and past works, experiments, and research are more focused on the aluminium alloys. Okay, and expected outcome from this project is at higher gradient, roots of the crystal in contact with the cool surface, the reduction in the transformation temperature is higher, which leads to smaller interface under cooling, and as a sequence, a smaller growth rate. And then we'll be using copper inclined slope for the cooling slope casting process, and also to use the steel mold. That is all from me. Thank you so much for lending me your ears.